we are going to see about the software quality assurance during software design lifecycle phases. So in this thing, we having the lifecycle models used in the software system design and delivery methods. Okay, in this thing, software process defines the way to produce the software, and it is a lifecycle model which establishes the approaches for managing various phases of the design lifecycle. So there is the concepts of model and then phases which is associated with the quality assurance, and also what are the roles and played by the managers and then the engineers in the during design life cycle. So in this thing, we having the concepts of design life cycle phases and their outcomes. So these are the design life cycle phases and their outcomes. The first one is the requirement. The requirement phase is given by the customers. From this, the engineers will convert the requirements into the specifications. So in this thing, it will be documented by the engineers. And the second one is the specification and an analysis process, which is taken over by the documentation by the engineers, which is given by the customers. And third one is the design architecture. In this design architecture, how the design architecture associated with the software and hardware, and also it should be documented. And fourth one is the implementation, how the process will be implemented in the hardware side and then software side with regards to the processor, and what is the language of the in the software they are going to implement. The fifth one is the integration. In the integration process, it will be associated with the test cases and test results for their process. And then sixth one is the maintenance. In this maintenance, how the documents are used for the changes, and what are the various requests is used for the upgrading the previous phase, upgrading from the previous phase. The last one is the retirement. It is the major enhancement process which is associated with the feedback from the customers after the delivery of the product. So your software design life cycle is framed with the help of the waterfall model. The waterfall model is the one of the best and then classical model which is developed by the software engineers. So most of these phases will be associated with these 6 phases. So these 6 phases is not required for all type of product development and then software development. In this thing, the first one is started with the analysis. So how your product or software is going to develop, we have to write the documentation. And then second one is specification and requirements, which is requirement is again we have to get from the customers, and then it will be converted into the specification with the help of the engineers. And third one is the design process. In this design process, the hardware and software engineers sit together and then they will conclude that what they are going to do for this project development. And then fourth one is the implementation, how they are going to implement with the architecture for the hardware. So how they are going to choose the processor or controller for their application, and then what is the language they are going to adopt for the writing the codes. And fifth one is the testing and integration. Now testing and integration is very important because they are going to integrate software and hardware which is doing in the separate part. They are going to integrate into a single project. So testing which causes with the help of testing is need when there is any kind of bugs are there. So this is the one of the biggest disadvantages, because testing should be carried out during the design and implementation process. So in this waterfall model, testing is done in the fifth phase. So testing is consists of 3 types of testing. One is white box, black box, and gray box. So in this thing, the integration process, which help with the help of the testing process, they will going to check whether the bugs are bugs, and then they have to rectify in the last process. So it is a time utilization model. And last one is the operation and maintenance. In this operation and maintenance, they used to check what are the test cases and what are the time taken for the project development. So last one is the maintenance, which is the continuous maintenance from the getting inputs from the customers, and then they will be keep on developing, and they will release the new updates for the software. In the software design life cycle, with the help of the waterfall model, there are more advantages and disadvantages. That's why we are going for the updated version of the waterfall model. So some of the advantages of the waterfall models are each phases can be well documented, and second one is it is easy to maintenance, and identification of the system requirement is very easy. So it the minimum changes of the requirement before the project going to proceed is also very easy. So these are the some of the advantages, and some of the important disadvantages are mismatch between the client requirement and product system application is which is delivered, and second one is not suitable for accommodating any kind of changes at the last time because of the testing in the last fifth phase, and the design must be completely specified and from frozen before the starting the code. So we can't able to do any kind of changes according to the updations of the each phases, and then there is some poor mechanism between each phases, and then experience of the post implementation of the programming also not included. It is the testing time is very high, and also it is done in the last minute, and also the problems are founded with the later phases. Due to the some disadvantages, we are going for the updated version of the design life cycle. So in this life cycle, we have converted these 6 phases into the phases, activities, and deliverables: plan, specify, develop, and post implementation. So why we are going for this kind of life cycle means the testing will be happen inside the each and every phases. Okay, so plan and specify is the independent phase, and development phase will be organized with the help of design coding. So that particular coding will be undergone with the unit test and then system test. So each and every test will be taken taken care with the help of the unit test plan and system test plan. With the help of this, the test results will be monitored with the help of the designers, and then code will be monitored with the help of the LOC, that is how many lines of codes will be they are going to write for each and every phases. So in this post implementation is the final one. So after completing all those things, they will be converted into the post implementation. So if there is any issues, they will be monitored inside the each and every activities. So these 3 things are the deliverables. So if there is any problems in these things, this will be monitored with the help of the designers inside the each and every phase. That will be the intermediate results will be monitored. So in this thing, the life cycle will be converted into 3 phases: quality during the requirement and analysis phase, quality during the specification, and quality during the design phase. So in this quality during the requirement phase, the customer's needs and then requirements are not always easy to capture. The concept is depends upon the requirement by the customers is measurable and also not measurable. The requirement is a specification what a system and an application must do the things about the system users and how they are going to observe. So for the good requirements, there are 3 primary characteristics. They are precise with no room for the misinterpretation by the users or implementation. They must be specific just what they must be do and not do during these phases. They must show the conceptual integrity and building on a simple set of facilities that intermediate with the which is not which is not shown to one another. There are some issues in the requirement phase. So the first one is failure to reach common understanding of the customer, and then also failure to reach the proposed solution, and also failure to establish appropriate constraint for the baseline for the required development of the software. So the software project can fail due to not meeting specific requirements or gold plating effect or scope creep. So in order to have a gold grip on what the customer really wants, we need to distinguish between a goal and the requirement and the constraint, so that the gold plating effect may be avoided. So the first one is constraint, which is a non-functional requirement and has a limitation on possible implementation. And second one is the goal, which is a trade-off among the design decision to find a way to quantify for the further improvement. Second, we are going to see about the quality during specification. Yes, for the quality during specification, we want to know about the software requirement specification, that is SRS, which is a comprehensive description of the purpose of the environment which the software is going to develop. It describes what the software will do and how it will be expected to perform for the specific application. And the SRS minimizes the time and effort which is required for the developers, and also it reduces the development cost. So there is some quality indicators for the specification. So formal specification describing the software or hardware used for the implementation. Few measures used for the indicating SRS using some software attributes are correct, constraint, complete, unambiguity, minimal and formal, verification, transformation, modification and traceable. These are the some attributes we are going to see. So in this thing, requirement traceability is important thing. In this thing, pre-requirement specification traceability and post-requirement specification traceability we are going to measure with the help of the user requirements. All these requirements will be built with the help of business requirement, design specification, functional specification, application performance requirement, test cases and user cases. So these are the things we are going to develop with the help of the inputs from the customers, and which is developed from the engineers. One, we are going to say about the quality during design phase. This is the important thing which is carried out by the design engineers for hardware and software separately. So in this thing, the quality assurance functions may be chosen from a set of design attributes that will be measured along with some objective metrics. So this is the definition for the quality during design phase with the help of the quality assurance. It should be a procedure for combining individual metrics to evaluate overall design quality. So there are several metrics that can be used during the design stage. One is cyclomatic complexity, and second one is coupling, and third one is the cohesion. So in this thing, structural design is a large system should be partitioned into a manageable modules. First one is the coupling and second one is the cohesion. The coupling is the process of partitioning modules are independent, and the cohesion, each module carries out a single and single problem related functions. So in this thing, we are going to consider an object oriented design paradigm, which is a visibility of an object that can be taken as a measure of the degree to which it is a global accessing for the entire system. So in this thing, software metrics deals with the measurement of the software with the help of product and process. So product metrics depends upon the size of the metric, that is the line of LOC, that is number of lines of codes, and second one is the functional points, and third one is the quality metrics, and these are the things carried out by the product metrics. And second one is the process metrics, is the development. It is depends upon the development type of methodology. So some of the examples are how they are going to document, how they are going to give the final packages, or how they are going to service for the after delivery of the methods, and how they are going to rectify the errors, and how they are identify the bugs in the software after delivery. These are the things which is carried out by the design phase.